Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to the Vintage Oaks. I do hope you're doing very well and having a lovely day. So here we are, the second day in September, ready to crack on, but I do have one or two very minor changes to show you. And when I say minor, I mean massive. We have got a completely new farm build going on here. Now this has essentially nothing to do with me. This conversation started a couple of weeks ago with one of my very good friends, channel members, Discord members, Chimera. Hello mate, I hope you're doing very well. This is just amazing, it really is. So yeah, this conversation started when Chimera posted a couple of images of her custom farm build down here on plots 3 and 4 on my Discord, and I saw them and I was like, wow, okay, Chimera really knows how to build a farm. She really does. And as I say, the conversation started, and I kind of just threw the ball out there. I was like, do you fancy building me a farm? And sure enough, she jumped at the chance, and I sent her my save game. And a week or so later, here we are. So let me show you around the changes that she has made to the place, because I absolutely love it. Now, I love building farms, don't get me wrong. But there's something, I suppose it's, in my mind, I suppose I can liken it to, and I'm sure a lot of you might be familiar with this feeling, but you know when you go to someone else's house and you have some food and it always tastes better at somebody else's house. Does that make sense? It's kind of the same with this. You can build in your own mind the best farm that you can build, but then you see somebody else's and you go, oh wow, okay, that's even better. And that was kind of the thing it was for me. I saw Chimera's pictures on Discord, like I say, and I was like, wow, she is really, really talented at doing this. So yeah, if you don't ask, you don't get. So there, I popped the cheeky question: how do you fancy building me a farm for me series? And she, like I say, she was more than happy to oblige. So here we are. So I gave a free rein. Essentially, I said, you know what, mate, you do what you need to do. There wasn't really many stringent, I didn't give her any do's and don'ts or anything like that. The only thing I wanted to try and keep was my big stack of Heston bales over in the shed over there, but we'll touch base on that in a minute. So anyway, right, this originally in the previous version of the map, this was just a blank area of land, just a blank empty piece of grass field, just a bit of grassland. So I've had a few sheds placed down for me, and I've been able to make use of just about every shed that she's placed down. Previously, I had a couple of empty sheds, so I've spent a little bit of money after the fact as well. I've bought myself 3 header trailers. I have also, onwards from the last episode, when we did the big harvest and we had the problem with the grain header on the green class harvester, it was suggested to me to use the class Tucano 580 from Giants, one of the mods there. So I've I believe it's essentially it's exactly the same header as this, but green. So I've swapped that one out, and we've now got header trailers as well for all 3 of the headers. So I've made use of that. We've now got an extra little entrance down here at the bottom that leads us round onto the other lane that takes us up to the farm and also up to the main road here. As you might have seen a second or so ago, we have another shed here that sits the 3 harvesters in very nicely. It just looks incredible. The landscaping work that she's done, just the placement of the buildings, everything just feels right. The addition of some new fencing, it is just beautiful. So Chimera, mate, honestly, thank you so much. This is a special place to be as far as I'm concerned. So we have a bit of a grain shed here. I've stuck the Fent and the JCB in for now. I think the lights have just gone off, haven't they? Has it just turned 7 o'clock? Almost 7 o'clock, so yeah, the automatic lighting turned off. We've got a new shed here. Now, this is one of the base game Oaks sheds, I believe. But yeah, we've filled it with a few bits of equipment, a couple of tractors and the plows, the roller and the grass roller. We come round here, and this was the original little courtyard here. We've got, again, another one of the base game Oaks sheds that FARMERSIM Briscoe customised. This is one of the base game Giants sheds that he reskinned. So at the minute, this is where I have the trailers stored. And we have a nice new shed here. Again, part of the base game Oak stuff. And we have a few bits of equipment in here. We've got the grass mower, the baler, the case, and the 2 seeders, sorry. Now this was the very full bale shed. Now, between us, we've tried, and it was something that we just couldn't seem to get our heads around. But when I sent Chimera my save game, when she loaded it up, the bales weren't visible here. Now, they are Heston bales, so there's something different about Heston bales and square bales that the base game just... obviously, it does support, but there was just a bit of a... there was an issue going on, basically. And when Chimera did all of her wonderful work and sent the save game back to me, and I copied across all of my relevant data that I needed to keep hold of, my vehicles and my career save game, etc., etc., the bales were here, but they weren't visible. So there was clearly an issue somewhere. So I've had to take that on the chin, and quite frankly, I don't mind, because I did mention in one of the last episodes that the placement of the ArgSy's Anywhere object storage that was in here wasn't quite central. So I've been able to. So I'm essentially going to be starting again. So if I bring up the heads-up display there, as you can see there in the bottom right, I'm hoping it's not too far behind my logo there, but we've got no more bales left in here. We've just had to start again, but I'm kind of fine with that, because field 62, the big field that we harvested in the last episode, that is full of straw, and that is going to take an absolute age to get picked up. Now, initially I was going to run the pickup trailer here, knowing that we had 250 bales in this shed. I was going to run this trailer and pick all that straw up and just take it to a sell point and sell it and get a few quid in the bank, but I'm now going to essentially start this one again. So we're going to pick all that straw up, bale it all up, and basically do that job again and see what we can get into this thing now. We had 251 bales previously, so I'm pretty sure that field is twice the size, almost, if not more. So there's a possibility that we might actually get towards the 500 limit that this Anywhere object storage does hold. So that's that. So that's the only thing that I've had to take a hit on as a result of this whole new farm build, which, as I said, absolutely fine. I really don't care. It's all good. So, we've still got the seed tank here. I think that's the seed tank, isn't it? Or is it the fertilizer tank? Yeah, it's the seed tank. Oh no, it's not. It's the fertilizer tank, isn't it? Let me just check, actually, in the menu. Where are we? Click on that. Come on. Where are you? It's my character blocking the view from it. Fertilizer tank. Yes. Yeah, it's the fertilizer tank. So that's still in place. I'm going to place the seed tank down somewhere, because that's not down here at the minute, but there's no rush for that. I don't mind. I'll find somewhere to put that at some point soon. But yeah, the layout of the place. We've got the Oaks fuel tank here that she's placed down for me. It's really, again, it suits the place. It's really quite nice. Nice old, simple 25,000 litre, relatively old and weathered and beaten fuel tank, so that's all good, because I did actually have the fuel tank from that same refillable tanks pack, didn't I? But this, quite frankly, that looks better, so well on for that. What else is there before we go over to the cows? So I think that's pretty much it for this little area. But yeah, absolutely love it. None of the fields have changed. We still own all the land. None of the finances didn't change massively. Obviously, the finances, the bank balance has gone down a couple of pounds since the last episode, because I bought 3 header trailers, sold the old one. Obviously, there was just a bit of changing in the money, but it's nothing to write home about. Over in the animal pen here, this little area, nothing. She hasn't really done any changes here. She's left the manure bunker as it was and left the cow barn as it was here. Because I did say I'd like to keep this one if I can, because after spending the first 2 or 3 episodes getting me noodle around this thing, I'd like to have kept it, but she has done something, which I'll show you in a minute. Now, again, onwards from the last episode, I had a couple of bits of input from you wonderful people, Simudad and Finnish Farmer. Again, both told me that there was an extra piece that you could purchase for this straw blower, which was this bale fork that fits to the back, and it was only 100 quid. So let me just turn that off. There we go. It was only 100 quid, so we fitted that. Now that should help me when it comes to loading the bales up into the back of this thing. So both of you guys, Finnish and Simudad, thank you very much again for that little bit of input. Greatly appreciated. And also, I had a suggestion in the comments of the last video as well regarding the front loader that we had equipped to this. Now, I had the, I think it's a Quick front loader attached to this. But again, it did look a little bit modern. Now, one of my viewers, Mr. Clean Ed 4QY, hello mate, hope you're well. He suggested the MP Lift mod pack, so I've downloaded that because it just looks a bit older and a bit more. It just suits it better, I think. So we've swapped that one out as well, and I think that looks much better, quite frankly. So that's that. The cows are still fine. They're all good. Nothing's really changed with them. They've got straw. They've got food. And and that's all good, so we don't need to worry about them today. If I wander around here, now one of the changes that Chimera has made, which I absolutely love, not only have we got the original cow barn over here in this piece of land here, but inside what was this little empty piece of land here, we now also have an expandable pastures cow pasture. Now there's nothing in here yet, I've not done anything with it yet. I'm going to do that between episodes again, no doubt off camera. But this area we're going to be able to change to an outdoor cow pasture. But what she's also done, and this is one of the things that I saw in one of her original images that she'd posted on Discord, is... Oh, open the gate the wrong way. She has created this... If I close this and close this... There we go. We have this kind of walkthrough for the cows between this pasture and that pasture. And I think it's absolutely brilliant. I loved it when I saw it. I just thought it was a really good idea. So I can kind of simulate the whole... Now, obviously, I know you can't, you know, move your cows from one point to another on foot. But I can turn this into a bit of an expandable pasture alongside this bit here and have them visually occasionally appearing in between here, like they can come and go in between these two areas. So it's... I just loved that. I really did. And she's done that for me because I did bring that up in our discussions that we were having over Discord. I just said how much I absolutely loved that bit, as well as all the rest of it. So she's done that one for me as well. So how awesome is that? FARMERSIM is a very lucky boy. He really is. This is an incredible farm now. Now I loved it before. Don't get me wrong. You know, since this map's come out, I've admired every one of the farms. But now this has had the personal touch, so to speak, from a very, very talented farm builder, Chimera. I am over the moon with this place. So over here, a little bit of a change as well. We now have two big silage clamps joined together. Nice big silage area. Now we do still have two big grass fields to mow. Like I said in a previous episode, I do still need to keep one as grass and I need to turn one over to hay as well. But I've got the capacity here, more than enough capacity to get my silage work on as and when we need it. We've still got the TMR mixer here that's chugging away nicely. We've still got the silo here, which is exactly the same as it was before. It's got all of our crops in, but we now have a couple of extra sheds down here. So I've put my windrower and both of the cultivators in here for now. This little 3-port shed, as it were, and we've got this one here that for now, again, I've just put the shepherd sprayer in here, just to put something in it. But you know, over the fullness of time into the future, as we get more and more equipment on the farm, no doubt, these sheds will be getting fuller and fuller. So, I mean, that's roughly, basically, a very, very quick tour of the new layout of the farm. And like I said, I absolutely love it. This is an amazing place to be. It really is. So again, Chimera, mate, my friend, thank you so much for the time and effort that you put into this. This is gorgeous. It really is. It's so nice to have that personal, custom touch on something like this. It really is. And like I said before, she's a talented farm designer. She really is. So yeah, farmhouse is the same down there. That's all good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to show you, but I don't think there is. But obviously, like I said, there's been some custom fence work done. It has been in and out of GE. There's a new fence that runs down the side here, that runs down this lane. But yeah, and I have amended my auto drive network to suit in a few places. But that was 5 minutes work. It's all good. Now, we did have the jet washer down here, didn't we? I placed that big, large footprinted jet washer system thing down here. Now, obviously, yeah, like I said to Chimera, I gave her full reign to design it how she wants, and we do. So we've got rid of that, and we have a nice, simple, rudimentary hose pipe here. There we go, to clean off our equipment. So that's all good with me. This is a mod that she introduced me to. She sent it to me to make sure that the save game worked. And quite frankly, I think it's brilliant. It works just perfectly. So that's all good. Right, well, what time is it? It's 6 minutes past 7 in the morning. We have got a massive job ahead of us now to get all the straw picked up out of field 62. That is going to take many, many hours. Like I touched on in the last episode where I was discussing doubling up on a lot of equipment, I did double up on, we've got another I doubled up on the seeder, I doubled up on the plough, and I doubled up on the cultivators. And I did consider doubling up on the baler as well, but can't afford it. It's like 100 and, without any extra additions to it in the in-game garage, it's 125 grand. So that's kind of out the question. So for now, we're going to make do. We're going to stick with, I'm going to run the Fent this time with the baler. Let's go get it hooked up. And we're going to run it in that field. The JCB did handle it quite well before, but occasionally on a few of the tight turns, just maybe because of the wide wheels on the JCB, it kind of rubbed on the front edge of the baler now and again when it was trying to do a tight corner. So I'm hoping this one might behave itself a little bit differently. I got enough room to squeeze in here, hopefully. There we go. In fact, I might have got myself in a bit of a pickle here, haven't I? I think I've got enough room there. There we go. There we go. Yep. Excellent. I think I will have to move that case out of the way though, mightn't I? There we go. PTO cables. Job done. Let's just move this back a few feet so I can get that out a bit better. Lovely stuff. That'll do. Right. So, bale time. This is going to take a very, very long time because I've got 3 harvester courses to run, obviously to follow. I will load up the courseplay course for the 3 harvesters. I'm just going to have to run each one individually because my windrower isn't big enough to span the rows to the swaths that the combine harvesters left behind. So, one at a time it must be. Now, I'm going to stick this into a bit of a cinematic for you all to watch. Not too sure how I'm going to lay it out yet, but I know that each one of these is going to take an exceptionally long time. I think I should probably... Which one should I start with first? The outer or the inner? I think we'll start with the outer one, to be fair, and go from there. So, here we go. I shall see you in several hours' time. Let's drop that down. Power that up, please. I need to unfold it first, don't I? There we go. Get that unfolded. Lovely stuff. Turn on. Right. See you in a while. Right, well, there we go. That was a morning's work. Look at the time, it's 12:30. We started this just after 7 o'clock this morning, if I remember correctly, so as near as makes no difference, 5 hours of baling and picking up and taking to the shed. So, it's all good though, we're almost there, we're almost done. So, over in the bale shed now, we have 320 bales at 8,450 litres each. As the Hestons are, that takes us to north of, or just shy of actually 2.8 million litres of straw. So, we're back stocked up again. Now I appreciate as well, I did just do a little bit of maths, because the original plan, as of the last episode I think it was, when we, or the episode before that perhaps, when we baled up that field, field 22 next to the farm there, the idea was obviously that was, those bales were going to be in the shed for us to use, and this field I was going to pick up with the forage trailer, or potentially buy another forage trailer, pick the whole field up and send it off to get sold. Now had I done that, we'd have been knocking on the door of an income of about 80 odd grand. I'm not being particularly accurate, but roughly, give or take a few quid, about 80 grand. So yes, I've taken a bit of a hit there, but I'm fine with it because of the wonderful new farm that I have, thanks to my good pal Chimera. I've been rattling back and two, obviously picking up the bales, getting them all picked up as this thing's been doing its job. And, well, 320 bales, picking up 10 bales a piece. I've been doing it about 30 odd times, haven't I? And it's just gorgeous. I love it. Every time I go in there, I kind of feel like I've noticed something that's new, because I know Chimera's done quite a bit of landscaping as well. There's trees where there weren't trees before. It's just awesome. And what am I doing here? I need to unload these bales, don't I? There we go. Get them picked up on the way out. There we go. Forgot about that. So, yeah, so we've got plenty of straw now. We're back to where we were. As I said, have taken a bit of a financial hit, but it is what it is. I'm not going to put that money back into the bank account or anything. I'm not going to cheat it back in or anything. I'm just going to take the hit. So, what we're going to do now is, this thing needs fueling up because it's pretty empty. So we can just. It's not working there. Hang on. Oh, hang on a minute. I seem to remember this tractor actually doesn't like the manual refueling thing, if I remember correctly. It did it to me on Court Farms. Yeah, it doesn't. Let me turn it round because I know the fuel tank is on that side. But if I get out there, no. It doesn't let me manually fuel up. Right, well, I'll turn that off. I'll get that sorted. That'll take a few moments. But yeah, this needs fueling up because we're going to run now another whopping great job. We need to get some ploughing done in field 22, I think it is here, isn't it? That's the next job. Get this thing completely turned over, ready for a cultivating, and in the near future, a fresh drilling. We do still have the next few months ahead of us to get that done. And we are in 2-day months. I have been pondering over the concept of turning it to 3-day months, but potentially, just because of how long each of these jobs takes me. I think, obviously, this is episode 4. In the episodes running up to this one, I think I've managed to do 2 jobs a day, essentially. Get something done in the morning and something done in the afternoon. That's pretty much how it turns out, so. But hey-ho, it is what it is. But I've picked up every single scrap of straw out of this field. Everything has been picked up, so there's not even any of those tiny little dots left over. I've picked everything up, so just going to go back over now, get the JCB, get the last of the bales in, and I'll pick you back up at the bale shed in a few moments' time. Right, all done. So, 328 bales, just short of 2.8 million litres of straw, so it's all good. And another positive thing that, from my side anyway, is the positioning of the of Argos's Anywhere bale storage thing in here. I did shift it over. It's still not quite perfect. It's actually quite difficult to gauge because when I placed it down previously the first time, it looked perfectly central, but the bales don't sit perfectly within that area, so I just kind of edged it over a little bit more to the left here, hoping that I bring it to the centre. It's an OCD thing, but you can see there, that's the centre of the stack, and there's the centre of the building itself, so it needs to be a little bit further over again, but There's no way I'm going to be manually unloading 320 odd bales out of here just to centre that thing again, but it's better than what it was. I do love this though, having a great big perfectly neat stack of bales in a shed. It's pretty cool. So that's that bit done. Right, so what I have done, I have used EasyDev. I have fueled up this thing because it doesn't work with the manual refueling mod, and I've docked myself 400 quid out the bank account there, so give or take a bit, that's roughly about right. It wasn't completely empty, but it does need repairing because it did break down towards the end of that courseplay course, so I just, again, manually just adjusted the damage by a couple of %, knowing that when we were finished, I'd be spending even more money, again, fixing it. And now what I'm going to do with this one, I did fuel this up during the whole picking up of the bales, but I have also purchased my little toolbox here, so I've got somewhere to work on my vehicles. Now, one thing that it was mentioned to me jokingly in the comments of the first episode, but it was by Farming Technology. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. If you're watching, he kind of jokingly said to me, if he sees me running a furrow plough with this JCB on these tyres, he's going to unsubscribe. And it kind of, I've had that in my memory to kind of remember not to go and do anything I shouldn't be doing. So we're going to equip this with a set of duals because we do need to run the ploughs. We've got 2 ploughs. These are the only 2 tractors I've got that are powerful enough to do the job. So I need to equip I need to equip the JCB with the correct tyres, so we'll do that first. Let's repair that for 585 quid, and let's customise it, and we need to go into here and equip it with the twin wheels. There we go. So that's going to cost us 6 grand. Yep, there we go. So we can equip it back with the weight as well. Let's lift that weight up. There we go. And now we need to repair our fent. So, oh goodness me, 2,754 quid. Well, it's got to be done. There we go. Thankfully that doesn't need any more customization. That's enough of a spend for now. So, ploughing. Let's get it on. It's another big field. It is only roughly about half the size of the one we've been working in, but it is going to take a while, let's be honest. The ploughs are 5.2 metres wide, so we're going to be running roughly about a 10.4 metre working width, but there's still a lot of land to cover. But thankfully, it has only just turned, or what is it, 1:45 in the afternoon, so I'm hoping we should have a good few hours ahead of us to get this done. So, can I get out of here? I hope so. You know what, right, I haven't actually driven these ploughs in here. These ploughs were set in the workshop that used to be here when Chimera had placed the new workshop down. She had actually magically managed to do it, because she doesn't necessarily have all the mods that I have installed. She had managed to do it quite neatly, so that these things were still within the confines of this workshop. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to get it out of here, so I'm just going to have to instigate Popeye mode very quickly and get these 2 things out of here. These will have to live in a different shed from now on, now that I know they don't fit in there. Goodness me. Yeah. Oops. Right. That's that bit done. So at least pick them up, get them out of here. I won't be doing much of that, I promise. But yeah, now that I know they don't actually fit through these legs, let's try again, shall we? So, I'll get these 2 hooked up, get it hooked up to the JCB as well, and I'll catch you in the field, ready to go in a few moments' time. Right, all sorted, got the course plotted, got both ploughs fitted to both the machines, tyres are correct on the JCB, I hope, thankfully. So, let's crack on with the next massive job. So, see you in several hours' time, no doubt, when we've got this field sorted. Right, pretty much done now. Just getting this tiny little bit that Coursplay's missed off, but that's that job done. Now that was a whopper and all. That was just over 3.5 hours, I think. But it's just gone 4 o'clock. Check that out. I think this is a first now for, where are we, episode 4 I think this one is. I think this is the first time we've finished not in the dark, so... Anyway, there we go, job done. So, I'm sure even the most unobservant of viewers will have noticed that early on into that cinematic, the fast track here lost 50% of its wheels. Well, yeah, it was getting a bit of a tiresome job that for some reason Courseplay every time this thing got to even the slightest bend, it would just stop. There was obviously some kind of collision on the wide wheels. So I've kind of wasted 6 grand as well, haven't I? So I'm a bit gutted about that. I've not done very well financially, have I? I've taken the hit of, give or take a bit, about 80 grand's worth of sellable straw. And I've just spent 6 grand on a set of wheels that I didn't need because it took me a while to figure it out and what the problem was. But essentially I had to keep intervening at the end of every row and almost every corner on the headlands, because as soon as this thing tried to turn, even the slightest angle, it just stopped. And it turned out as soon as I equipped it back to its standard single wheels, the problem was fixed. So anyway, it's all done now. It was FARMERSIM was throwing his toys out the pram, I must admit, for a wee while, because it was driving me bonkers. And I don't think I've got anywhere I can put these ploughs inside. I don't think I've got a door wide enough anywhere. But hey ho, it's alright. So let's just dump this here. If I flick to the right, there we go. Let's jump in this, right. So I'll get all this lot tidied up. I'll get everything put away, and I'll pick you up in a few moments' time, because I've got one tiny little job to finish off before I call it quits for the day. And that's just giving the cows a quick mucking out. So, as I say, I'll get this back home, and I'll see you in a moment. Right, last job of the day. Nice and early, like I said. It's a bit of a weird one, this, I've got to say. But let's... Sticking to full realism levels, let's get all of this huge amount of manure stuffed into this one bucket. I don't actually think there's much here. I think there's about 10,000 litres, 9,000 something, but there we go. In my mucking out for the day. Should have done this morning, really, shouldn't I? But it's all good. There we are. So let's jump out, close the gate, and get this lot tipped into here. Add it to the... I mean, what have we got in here now? Turn it to tons. 12.9 tons. I know we've got just over 16,000 litres in here, because I had to manually put it back again after the little alterations that my good mate Kay has made to the farm. Luckily I had it on record from the last video, so... Right, there we go. Nice one. Right. There we do. There we go. Job sorted for the day. So, let's just dump that there, shall we? There we are. So, another productive day, I feel. We've worked a lot of land, I've got to say. We've field 62, which I can't actually remember what that is acreage-wise. Where are we? You can normally get it in this active workers menu. Click on the field there. 122 acres there. 72 acres there. So, what's that? 194 acres, almost 200 acres work today. Not bad going, really. It's been a few hours, but it's all good. So, I think today, now, I'm going to call it here for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. But I've got to say, firstly, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you for the continuing mod suggestions. I really appreciate it. It's always a massive help, especially really nice bits of attention to detail, like things like this front loader, for example, the MP lift. It genuinely does look just that little bit older than the Quickie one that we had on there, if I'm pronouncing that right. Quickie, whatever. But yeah, this one just does look that little bit older. And again, Simudad and Finnish Farmer, thank you for the suggestion and the advice regarding buying this extra little bit that goes on the back of here for loading the straw bales up. Very helpful. I know I said it before, but I'm very glad that I've got this nice old rudimentary straw blower working on the farm. It's perfect, it really is. And of course, not going to be ending today's episode without saying a massive thank you to my good friend Chimera. Mate, I absolutely love this farm. What you've done to the place, the work, the time, the effort that you've put into doing this, for me, is... I'm humbled, I'm blown over, I really am. So again, I know I've said it a million times, mate, but thank you so much. It really does mean the world to me. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the new farm. Welcome to the new Cow Meadow View farm.